Welcome to the webinar on building augmented reality filters using Spark AR for Instagram. So the agenda for today's webinar is to build Spark AR filters for Instagram. First, we'll have an introduction to AR, that is augmented reality, as well as Spark AR interface. Then we'll try to create a face paint filter, and we'll test and publish the same to Spark AR Hub. We'll have an introduction to patch editor, which adds interactivity and animation to our effect. Then we'll also try to add 2D or 3D objects and text, and we'll also cover the usage of custom fonts and custom instructions in our filter. So what is AR or augmented reality? It is an enhanced version of reality where real-world environments are augmented with superimposed computer-generated images. The best example for it now is the Insta or Snapchat filters, where the real-world environments and faces are augmented with 3D objects and effects. I'm sure we are all into it, and we are using these filters day by day. So why not make our own custom filters? So there comes Spark AR Studio by Facebook. With Spark AR, anyone can create and publish their own Spark AR effects for Insta as well as for Facebook stories. It is a powerful AR platform for Mac and Windows users that allows you to somewhat easily create AR filters. Something similar to Photoshop or Sketch, but this is for AR. So this is the official site for Spark AR Studio, where you can see everything about all the tutorials, as well as many resources are found in this official site. So some of the features of Facebook and Instagram AR camera filters are they allow you to create augmented reality games. You can add 3D objects, static as well as dynamic. Then it allows you to create face mask. Then you can track head movements, facial tracking, mouth and lip tracking, etc. So it has this Spark AR or this augmented reality filters has an enormous potential as a marketing tool also. Many of the top companies use these AR filters to market their products. For example, cosmetic brands, they can use AR to let their followers virtually try on these makeups. Or if it is a furniture brand, they can use AR to show what their products will look like in people's room or customers' room. Then for fashion brands, they can use AR to allow people to try on shirts, sunglasses, ornaments, etc., so that they can see how it fits their shape or style. So you can see in this picture where a ornament or a fashion brand filter where the user can try on the jewelry. So they can have a better understanding of how it looks into their body. So these are some potential of Spark AR filters as a marketing tool. And the prerequisite for building a Spark AR filter is very simple. Users need to have an FB or Instagram account, and you should have Spark AR Studio installed on your computer. So let's get to the basics. Augmented reality filters, they can be used to make makeup effects, which is the most common one. We all know these makeup effects. Then objects popping up in phone screen, then camera effects like color change, frame, and many more. Then also you can create games using this Spark AR, where you play it with face movements like blink, smile, nod, etc. And you will also can create world effects like for trying products with just a camera, as we've seen just before. And everything else you can imagine in any form or shape. So let's build our first filter. So before going to build our first filter, let's install the Spark AR Studio in our PC. Just go to sparkar.facebook.com, which is the official site of Spark AR, and you just have to click on the download option. It is available for both Windows and Mac OS. Since I have already installed the Spark AR Studio, I'll just open the Spark AR Studio. For first-time users, it will ask you to log in with your Facebook account. So you can see, this is the opening interface of Spark AI Studio. You can see a number of built-in templates with which you can quickly start. For example, if I want to, you can use any of this. If I click on any of these templates, you'll be prompted to a interface where you can see a blue dialog box. What you have to do is just read these instructions and follow up the instructions, and you can easily create these filters. But we'll, however, skip this and we'll try to create our own filters from scratch. So what you have to do is click on the new project, blank project. So this is the interface of Spark AI. I'll just show you all these toolbars. Let's see each one of them. So the middle portion is the viewport, where you can see and work with the effect. You can change the view to front view, right view, or any view, but bird's eye view is the most preferred one. Then if you add an object to this viewport, you can change the position here, or you can rotate the object, or you can scale up the object. Like you can increase or decrease the size of the object. Then here, this is the simulator, which represents the device screen used to preview your effect. So you can change the device to any of your preferred device, or you can use the default one. Then you have this scene panel where you add your objects. Whenever we add an object to the scene panel, it will be reflected in our effect as well as in the viewport. So you can add this object by clicking on add objects. You can see a number of available objects here, and you can experiment with each of them. So for example, I wanted to add a face mask filter. For that, I'll add a face tracker object first. So face tracker obviously detects and tracks the face. Then inside that, we have to add a face mesh. So this is how it looks. So this is the scene panel. We'll get to this later. Then we have this asset panels, where we import the assets. You can import either from your computer, or you can import from the AI library. AI library has a number of free assets, which you can download it for free. For example, if you want to download suppose if you want to download this, you just have to select the desired 3D object and just click on this import free option. It will get downloaded. Once it is downloaded, it will be seen in this asset panel. See, now it's done. So you can use these assets in your project. Then on the right side, we have this inspector panel, which helps to change the properties of each object. For example, if you want to change the properties of face tracker, you can see the inspector changes. Or if you want to change face mesh, you can see. You can make it visible or invisible. You can change the position to your desired position. See, now it changed. You can scale up the object, and also you can rotate it using your wish. Also, you can add materials. Now it is a default, no texture is added. So if you wanted to add a texture, you have to click on this material. So there are two options, either create new material or scene root. The scene root is from the assets we just downloaded. We can either click on new material. If you click on new material, a new material will be added. In the inspector of this material, we can change the color of our object, and we can add textures or anything we can do. Or if you want to add the custom, the asset we just downloaded, you can click on this. Now we have a face mask. So this is from we downloaded asset. Then on the left side, we have this toolbar where we can configure your workspace, show or hide patch editor, console and all. Then there is a simulator. You can change the videos of simulator, or even you can try your own video with this simulator. So then you can post, stop, all those options are there. Then AI library, we already discussed. Then you can test the effect that you created on device. Either you can test it on a Spark applet, which you need to install on your phone, or you can send to app, Facebook camera as well as Instagram camera. Just you need to send it. Then a notification will come on your Instagram account where you can preview and test your effect. So that is all about the interface of Spark AI Studio. Now I think we can start off with our first filter, that is face paint filter. We'll be creating face paint filter, and I'll be guiding you to publish the same to the Spark AI Hub or Instagram. The most interesting part is that after you submit your filter to Spark AI, it will take just 3 to 4 hours to get it reviewed. Just 3 to 4 hours. That is, your filter will go live to Insta within 3 to 4 hours. That's cool, right? So we'll start off by creating a new project. We'll discard this one and create a new blank project. Okay, so I'll show you what we are going to make. We'll make something like this. These are all some examples of face paint filters. We can make something like this now. So for that, the basic requirement here is you need to create a texture that you want to display over your face. That we've seen in that video, like there is a texture for each effect. So we need to add that texture, then import that texture and add it to the face mesh in the Spark AI. And you can add some retouching to your face to look beautiful also. So we need to add so for that we need to add a face tracker, since we are tracking the face. Then inside the face tracker, we'll add a face mesh. So first we'll do some retouching on our face. So we have added a face mesh. So in the inspector panel, we'll add a material. Default material has been created. We'll rename it to retouch. It's better to rename all your materials so that it's better to understand. In the inspector panel, change the shader type to retouching. There are different shader types available. Since we are going for retouching, select retouching. And you can change the value. See, if you change the values, you can see the skin is becoming smoother. So we'll put on something like between 50 or 60. So now we have added the retouching. Now we want to add the texture. For that, we'll add another face mesh. So, but you can see it is not tracked by the face. This is because we have not put this under the face tracker. So what you need to do is just put this face mesh under the face tracker so that the face mesh is also tracked. Now we want to add a material, create new material. Now we want to add texture, that is the face paint. We can go to material, then we can change the shader property to face paint. So what we need, we want a texture. So you can use any of the online photo editing tools to create your own texture, but I'm using an online editor. So before going on to creating your texture, you need to go into the official website. You have to download the face reference assets, which acts as the face reference. So you can get this here. You have to download the face reference assets from here. So now the face reference assets has been downloaded. You have to, I've already installed it. So I'll take this. Inside the textures, we'll have a number of references that has been given by Spark AI. So this is a feminine face, masculine face, and these are face mesh with trackers. So we'll use one of them to our online tool. So now that we have this reference, we can add the texture. Either you can add any of the textures, like any PNG images, or you can draw your own custom texture. So I'll add a texture, PNG image. What you have to do is drag and drop to the image. You can position it anywhere you like. Also, you can draw anything you wish. You can make your custom textures. Even you can add text to it and change the fonts and everything. So we'll try to download this. Before downloading, what we have to look is that we have to make this background invisible. We just need only this texture. We don't need that face reference asset. It is just a reference to, it is just a reference for us to make a texture. So we'll export this as PNG and we'll save this. So we can use this in our project. We can drag and drop this to our assets panel. So we have this texture. So what we have to do, we have to just go to our material and add the texture to Phase 1 So now we have this texture. This is very simple face paint filter. It is ready. We can use this to upload and publish to our Instagram profile. For that, I'll show you how to test it on a device. So now that it is complete, we'll test it on our device. In this option, we can either send to our Instagram camera, or you can show it in Spark Air Player. It will take some time. Or that is the testing phase. And if you want to export and upload, you just have to click on this export option. And once it is complete, it will take some time. Once it is complete, you can what you have to make sure here is that the maximum size you can have is 4 MB. Make sure your assets, all your filter just goes below this 4 MB size. I think my net issues, it will take. Okay, I'll show you how to publish in the next filter I'm using. So this is about our first filter. So now that we have completed our first filter, I'll show you another capability of this Spark Air, that is Patch Editor. Patch Editor is basically that helps you to add interaction and animation to your effects. Each patch performs a unique function. So we'll create another filter. We'll discard this one and we'll create another blank project. So here we'll next try to add Patch Editor. So you can add Patch Editor by clicking on the Show or Hide Patch Editor. So we can right click on here and see a number of patches available. Each patch has a unique functionality. Some of the available patches are interaction patches, which actually helps to interpret interaction from users like screen taps, swipes, etc. Then we have this logic patches, math patches, etc. These all can be used. So in order to take the patches, you just have to right click on this patch editor. So now we'll create a new project. That is, for that we'll add a face tracker. Okay, we'll also add a 3D object. For that we'll use AR library to import a 3D shape. So we'll use this simple sphere. Okay, now we have this sphere downloaded in our assets. You can just drag and drop it to your face tracker. So now we have your 3D object on your face. So you can change the color of this sphere by color or any properties you want to change in this material. And you can change the color to any color you wish. I'll choose red. And you can change anything. You can change the properties. You can change the opacity. Yeah. So this is our sphere. Now we'll add a patch to this, or interactivity or functionality to this object. So for that, we'll drag this face tracker to the patch editor. Now we have this face tracker patch. Now, what I'm trying to do is, whenever the user opens his mouth, then only this object should be visible. That is, only when the user opens the mouth, the objects will be visible. So for that we'll need to add another patch, that is mouth open. So whenever the mouth open patch becomes true, then what we have to do, we have to show this object. So go to this sphere object, and besides this visible, there is an arrow. Click on that arrow. This is the visible patch. So whenever the mouth opens, you have to connect it to this sphere and connect the face tracker's face to mouth open. So now what you will see is, the sphere is not visible, but when his mouth opens, it becomes visible. So that is this patch. Whenever its mouth opens, this sphere will get visible. So one more patch I'll show as an animation patch. We'll add a transition. So in this patch, there's also another output called mouth openness. We'll connect it to the progress. So in this patch, what I want is, when the mouth is opening, that is when the mouth openness increases, the object should also increase, that is scale up. So beside this scale, there is an arrow. We have to add that to the patch editor, and we just have to connect it. So we can change the values also, like how many times the object should scale up. I'll select it as 4 times. So now I'll show you. So when I close the mouth, there will be no object. So when I open, it will increase its size. You can change the value to 8 times or any that you wish. So it increases. That is it. That is the functionality of this mouth open patch. So this is a basic patch that we have created. So maybe since we have already discussed about face paint, we can add a face paint to this filter also. If you want, for that we need to add object, that is face tracker. Oh, we already have this face tracker, so we need to just add a face mesh inside the face tracker. So now we have this face mesh. Inside the face mesh, we need to create a material, new material. We need to add a texture. before that, we need to get the texture. I'll use this texture. So we'll add this texture to the material. So now we have this material, face paint, as well as the animating object. That is, whenever the mouth opens, this object will also increase its size. That's the basics of patch editor. You can experiment on any of these patch editors. All are similar. Just that they'll add functionality. So we'll try to export this. Once, just click on this export and upload option. So it will show the size of this our project as well as the maximum possible size. You just have to upload it. So once it is uploaded, it will redirect you to the Spark AR Hub, where you can upload your effect as well as see your insights on the previous effect. So in order to upload, you just have to click the platform to which you have to upload. I'll click on Instagram. Then this is our project file. You can name the filter as anything. I'll choose face paint. Then you have to select up to 4 categories to which our filter belongs. Maximum 4 categories. Then you can add keywords to your project, any number of keywords. Then, so this is our account details. Then you have to add a demo video of your effect. That will be public, okay? So for that, you can see this capture video is disabled. For it to enable, we have to first save this effect. And you can see this, you can open in Instagram. So you'll get a test link. You can share this up to 50 users and get their reviews and update your filter, anything like that. Or you can send it to your Instagram, where you will get a notification to test your link. So in that test link, you have to capture a video, which you need to upload in this here. It can be a very short video which shows all the functionalities. So you can add an icon here. Then you have to give a review information. This is basically for the reviewers to review your effect. Just give a very short description of what your effect does. So that is the review information, and just click on this submit. So once it is submitted, it will go to the reviewers and they'll review within a maximum of 10 days. And most of the filters will get approved within 3 to 4 hours. So once it is approved, you can see your effect on the Spark AR Hub. So I'll show you the Spark AR Hub. It is showing your effect. So you can see the insights also, like how many opens are there, captures, saves, shares, etc. You can view all those insights in this Spark AR Hub. And you can also manage your effects in the Spark AR Hub. So that's about testing and publishing it to Spark AR. So this is a basic patch filter. So, so now we'll look at how to add custom fonts and custom instructions and work with some 3D objects also. So for that, we'll add one more filter. We'll create one more filter. I'll show you what we are going to make. Something like this. This is a dynamic date, dynamic text. That is, if it is Friday, it will show Friday. If it is Monday, it will show Monday. And it works like if we tap on the screen, the style will change. There are somewhat 4 or 5 styles. Once the user taps on the screen, the effect will change. We'll make something similar to that now. So for that, we'll discard this one. We'll create a new project, blank project. So, so before going on to creating our effect, we'll see how to add custom fonts. For that, I'll download the fonts from fonts.google.com. You can download your preferred font. I'll choose handwriting because it looks better for filters. So you can download some of the filters you wish to add to your project. I'll add one more font, maybe this. And you just have to download it. Once it is downloaded, you can extract it to here. So you can see the 3 fonts. These are the 3 fonts. So you can drag and drop it to our assets panel. Now we have this one font. We'll add the remaining font. So this is how you add custom fonts to your project. And I'll show you how to use that also. So now we have this custom fonts. Also, there are styles. Only the dynamic text is available from Spark here. We can add the custom styles. For that, I have already have these styles. So these are the styles I'm using. You can create your own custom styles or anything you wish to. We'll add that also to the assets panel. So we have all the assets needed for this effect. So we'll make the effect. So since we're not going to track our face, we just don't have to add the face tracker. But if you wish to add retouching to your face, you can add the face tracker inside that a face mesh and retouching effect that we have seen earlier. So I'm not going to that. So in order to create this effect, we'll add a null object, which is basically a container that is used to group object. So we have created a null object. Inside the null object, we'll add a canvas. It is also a container used to hold 2D objects. So inside the canvas, we'll add 2D text. You can add text to your filters and change the position. So now we have this text. You can type anything, or even you can add dynamic text. Here we have the dynamic text. We can have this current city, current airport, time, day, but we'll go with day of week. That's it. Since we'll have to make the size to fill width and fill height, because this is, I'll show you why. If we have given 100, if we put a bigger word like Thursday, it will show like this, which is not preferred. So we'll have to use fill width, and we'll delete this and add day of week. Since it's just Friday, it has not been seen. So we'll add fill width and fill height option. Now we have this dynamic text. We'll change the font. Inside the font, we can change it to, these are at the bottom, we can see those 3 fonts that we have imported. We'll use any of that. We can change the size to 70 or 60 or anything. You can change the color here. You can change all these properties in the inspector panel. So now we'll need to add we need to add the style, right? So inside the canvas, we'll add a rectangle. We'll give it a size of 300, 150. That depends on our interest. So we have a rectangle. We need to add material. So we have a material. We'll change the name to style 1. So inside the material, we can change the texture to style 1 that we have already imported. So we have this style imported. We can change the position to enlarge this one. You can change the position. Okay, now it's good. So we have this style, 1 style. So we'll change the name to style 1. What we are going to do is just copy paste the style to 4 styles because we have 4 different styles. So we can change the font to another font. So what happens is that the second style got overlaid on the first. So for that, we need to make this invisible. Also, all the other 3 styles invisible. Okay. Now only the style 2 is visible. You can see all others are dimmed, right? So style 2 will change the in the material, we'll change the texture to style 2 and change the position. Okay. Style 3 also will make it invisible. Sorry. We'll make this invisible, and for style 3 we'll make visible, and for style 3 we'll change the texture to style 3 and change the position. Okay, we'll make this invisible. Style 4, make this visible and change the texture to style 4. So we can even change the font to. Okay, now we are 50% done. We have this styles and dynamic text. But what we need actually is when the user taps on the screen, these styles should change, right? So for that, we need to add interactivity. For interactivity, what we need to do, we need to add patches. So we have to show or hide the patch editor. Yeah, so now we have this patch editor. So we need to add a screen tab. Screen tab, because our effect should work whenever the user taps the screen. Then, so now we have the screen tab. Again, right click, we will add a counter. So what counter does is it increases the value, So we'll add a value to look what happens exactly. Tap to increase, decrease, all options are there. We'll choose increase. So when the user, this is our simulator. So when the user taps on the screen, we can see the value changes. 2, 3, 4, 0. After 4, it becomes 0 because the maximum count is, we have given maximum count as 5. So now we have this counter and value. We'll delete this value because we don't need that now. So we'll add another patch called option center, which basically chooses between different options. We have different options, like 4 different styles, right? So we'll choose this option center. So we have to change this to Boolean, and we have to tick on this value because value should be passed. So we'll connect this option to option. So what we need is we have to add the different options. Which are the different options? These styles are the different options for us now. So we'll select all those styles. And besides this visible, click on this arrow. That is the visible patch. So we have this visible patch for all these styles. Okay, so we need to connect the output to options to different patches. So what basically happens is when the user taps the screen, the counter value will increase and the value is sent to this option center. Corresponding option, if it is 0, this will be activated. If it is 1, this style will be activated. So corresponding option will be activated and corresponding style will be visible. So we'll see if this works. So I'll restart it. So when I tap on the screen, okay, that is because on the style 2, I made this invisible, make this visible. Okay, we'll restart that once more. When the user taps, different styles are on. You can see which is activated. So when I tap, this one is activated. Again, I tap, this one is activated. So, but we can see a blank thing. This is because this option is activated, but there are no styles. So we'll change the maximum count to 4 and we'll look. That's fine now. That's how this works. Now I think we'll add, I'll show you how to add grains effect to this filter also. For that, what you need is, okay, we'll add a canvas. As I said, canvas is the container for laying out 2D objects. We'll add a canvas, insert. Add a, sorry, it was no. Okay, we added a canvas. Inside the canvas, we need to add a rectangle. Add rectangle. So now that we have a rectangle, we'll put this as fill width and fill height and fill width. So the entire screen is covered with this rectangle. We'll change the material to new material. So this material has been here. I'll change that name to grains. So before we going on to add textures, we need to add the texture, right? So I'll add the texture that I have already, I'll add this to the assets. So now we have this grains texture. So I can add this to a rectangle. Inside the material, I'll add the texture to this one and we have this canvas, grains filter, grains image. So I can change the opacity to our preferred opacity. You can choose according to your wish. Yeah, so now we have this filter with grains. We have this dynamic text. Yeah, that's it about this filter. You can test this or export and upload. You can test either in your app or you can export and upload to your Spark AR Hub as I have shown in the previous example. Yeah, that's about the filter we have seen. So that's all about building AR filters using Spark AR for Instagram. I hope you were able to follow up. If you have any queries or doubts, you can ask now. If you have any queries, please do ask. Is it only used for social media accounts like Instagram and Facebook? Spark AR platform is only for Instagram and Facebook. If you want to create a filter for Snapchat or anything like that, you will have to use another software. Spark AR is only for Facebook filters as well as for Instagram filters. It is created by Facebook. I think that is clear. So now we have created some basic filters I expect that you'll all try to make your own custom filters. It's very easy, right? If you get stuck at any point of time, what you have to do is just go to the Spark official Spark site and click on this learn option. It has a plenty of resources to get started. We'll have these video tutorials as well as articles on each and every element. You have this tutorial about publishing. Everything is available in this official site itself. So it's easy to create and build your own custom filters. So why not make your own filter? So, and the best way to experiment or best way to make is to experiment with these objects, with these functionalities. So I think if you have any queries, I'll answer. So I think we can wind up for now. If you have any more queries, you can ping me on any of the social media platforms, or you can mail me this account. So hope you all find the webinar useful. Thanks for patiently listening. Thank you.